Hey everyone, Brian Albert from IGN here alongside our news lead, Zach Stein.
What's up, Brian?
Hey, and my fellow associate editor, Brandon Tyrell.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. We're talking about Battlefield Hardline. I reviewed the game for IGN. As you can see right there behind us, I gave the game an 8.0. On IGN's scale, that means it's great. Now, if you haven't read the review, just go ahead and do that. But also, to save you some time, we're going to roll it here for you.
Hands up. Stay right where you are.
Hey! Battlefield Hardline impressively manages to serve several different audiences at once. Its campaign is both a great shooter and a great stealth game, with a typical plot spiced with interesting characters and sparse but punctual humor. The large-scale tactical multiplayer combat the series is known for is still as good as it's ever been, but the speedy new Hotwire and round-based 5v5 modes provide both speed and thrills.
The first thing I say in my review is that I was really surprised by the single player.
Right.
And I've played a lot of campaigns before, Bad Company, even the older stuff or whatever, 3, 4. And the thing about Hardline is that you can play it as a stealth game just as well as you can play it as a shooter.
Right.
Totally, I wasn't really expecting that. I wasn't following the game up to release. I try not to do that for games I review. Totally blew me away at how good it was. And now, you're playing through it right now. Are you being stealthy or are you just shooting everybody?
Yeah, so what's nice about the game is that it encourages stealth. And I was worried when I first heard this game announced because it's cops and robbers type theme, and you're thinking, are we going to glorify criminals taking on cops? Or we're going to glorify cops killing criminals? We know about the political environment. We're not going to go there. But what I'm saying is it encourages stealth. And you are rewarded for being stealthy, and you will progress faster and better if you use stealth. If you want to go in and blow everyone away, you can, but it's going to take you a long time. And so the game is getting you into that mindset that you want to be a cop. You want to take these folks down. The stealth mechanics work well. They are fun. It gets a little dry sometimes, but overall, I think they do it really well. And I did have a smile on my face like, wow, this is almost, you can go like Splinter Cell on this if you want to.
Right. And it's weird. You're like, well, you're a cop. Why are you being stealthy? And you're like, well, cops don't want to go run in and shoot up everything, right? You get rewarded for acting like a cop.
Yeah.
You get this scanner item pretty early in the campaign.
Yes.
And before you go into any like combat zone, you can scan and see like there's an enemy there. There's like 5 guys over there.
Right.
Not the restaurant, the enemies.
Right.
There's like an explosive barrel here and an alarm over in that corner. And so you can sort of get this like survey the area and then sneak around and
Kind of map it out.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't really want to go in and shoot everybody. You don't want all
Right.
those casualties, which I think is kind of cool because you can run in and sort of use your badge, which, by the way, is a feature that we should just definitely talk about. The badge, you pop it up, and most of the time the enemies will respect that. You say freeze, and they're going to put their hands up.
So there's the little icon that goes on over the head if they are going to respect it. Because if you don't see the badge icon pop and you throw that up there, they're just going to shoot you.
They just don't care?
Yeah, they're going to take you down. So you want to see that you're going to get the respect. They're going to listen to you. You got to train the gun on them. And by the way, if you leave your partner behind and you have more than 2, and there's a third dude there, then you have the meter that starts filling up with the other dudes. Like, you're taking down this guy. I'm going to go ahead and take you out. There is a lot that comes into this. It's a complicated thing, and you have to think it through, and I like that. Again, it's not simple, either I'm going to be stealthy or I'm going to shoot. You got to map it out.
Absolutely. So we talked about how well it pulls off both stealth and shooting. The major gripe that I had with the campaign, at least gameplay-wise, is that you level up your character, and the leveling system is how you unlock new weapons and explosives and cool stuff. You level up faster by being stealthy because you see, oh, this guy, there's a arrest warrant out for him.
Right.
If I arrest him, I get all these points.
Yeah.
If you just shoot everyone, you miss out on a ton of points.
Right.
But if I'm playing stealthy, why do I want to level up so quickly and get these massive guns?
Yeah.
And if I'm shooting, I want those guns, and I'm not going to get them quickly. It's this weird sort of backward system that doesn't benefit how you play.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that just slipped by them, and by the time maybe they figured it out, they're like, well, we're just kind of locked in here because you get fantastic weapons and gadgets and scopes and all these things, but you're encouraged to not use them. Maybe it would have been nice to see that carry over to multiplayer somehow. I don't know what could have happened, but yeah, it is odd, and I do remember you talking about that, and I'll look at all these great rifles I have, and rarely will I pull out a gun.
Yeah, and that's the thing I want to make clear, is just because I played it stealth doesn't mean you have to. The guns still feel awesome. It's still like loud, cool, great feeling weapons, Battlefield if you want it to be.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up quickly, can we talk about the Netflix, the episode nature of the single
If you want
player?
to, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up.
Previously
I
and
love
next time on.
Yeah, you get the previously on Battlefield Hardline before each episode, and if you quit out the game when you're done with a level, it'll say next time, and you get the preview for the next episode next time on the Battlefield Hardline. But when you're done with an episode, in between, there's like 30 seconds between each episode, and they have the little window at the bottom that
Straight on
shows the
Netflix.
countdown, just like Netflix.
Yeah.
It really really does feel like a TV show.
I think that's great. I think Visceral, so for so long we've looked at video games as sort of this like interactive analog to movies, right? But I think taking that and migrating it over the sort of serial nature of video games, where each level is the next chapter of this story, migrating that over to TV series, right, where each chapter is an episode, I think it fits perfectly. Like, I think
it's a neat take, and it fits totally in line with how we consume other media.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's totally like what we binge watch, right? And you binge watch a show, you play a game. It's just like binge watching a show.
So single player, stealth is awesome, totally viable. So is shooting. The guns still feel really good. This is Battlefield after all.
Right.
The unlocks don't make a ton of sense, but you're still having a great time.
Absolutely.